Hello, I'm Jacob. I am once again joined by Mikey Walsh, aka Movie Mike Reviews, and we are talking Oscar predictions. The next video in this series, and let's be real, probably the one you're most excited about. We are talking about acting awards in this one. They are always the most fun to follow because we get to see all of our favorite celebrities get up on stage and give speeches, and they're the most fun categories to make your own personal list for. I don't know, there's a lot of things we love about movies, but we're really there for the people in them at the end of the day. So best actress we're going to start with, might throw you off, but I always go by Gold Derby's order.
Yeah.
Where I yoink my predictions from. So best actress, we've had a lot of discussions about this off camera and on camera in the video that won't see the light of day because it's outdated. But do you still have Angelina Jolie winning?
I do still have Angelina Jolie.
That's great because I still have Mikey Madison winning. Glad we understand each other.
Good.
I feel like we've had this conversation a million times, but I guess we'll go through it again for this video. I'm even more confident in Madison than I was a month ago at this point. But Jolie has a lot going for her too. It's obviously the veteran versus the ingenue sort of discussion. Anora's definitely the bigger movie, but I think both are big performances.
Yeah.
Jolie's maybe a more traditional, caked in makeup, there's a bit of singing. She doesn't do all her own singing. Big, more traditional type awards day performance, whereas Madison is a bit more modern, but still like she goes for it. She does everything. She's yelling and screaming the entire time. So yeah, they're both, you can make a good case for both of them. And maybe Madison number one is because she's probably my favorite performance of the year.
Yeah.
But I also think, just based on the merits of them alone, more people will agree that she is the best performance of the year. It just comes down to whether maybe the industry are more wanting to recognize the veteran, which is probably where you come in.
Yeah. So I think that Mikey Madison is great in Anora, and I think that she is definitely locked in for a nomination, and that's why I've got her listed at number 2. But I think Angelina Jolie fits the mold of the kind of performance and the kind of performer that wins Best Actress. The last time that an up-and-coming actress won Best Actress was Brie Larson for Room in 2015. And even then, Larson still had a little bit more credit to her name. She'd done Short Term 12, she was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. People knew Brie Larson that little bit more.
I mean, people know who Madison is, not on a grand scale, but she definitely already had some dedicated fans before this based off Scream and things
Madison,
like that.
Yes, she's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's not unknown.
She's also the lead in a TV series.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Larson wasn't unknown when she won, but she was just lesser known. Madison winning wouldn't be her being unknown, but she'd be lesser known. But that's what I'm saying. You look at all of the other Best Actress contenders, the last time someone like Madison won was Larson, which means I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying that Mikey Madison can't win Best Actress. I'm just saying I think that there is a better statistical chance that Jolie takes this. And people like to throw out the whole, but it's a Pablo Larraín film. And I'm like, that's a decent card to play. I would argue that Natalie Portman was second to Emma Stone for Jackie, and Emma Stone won for La La Land. Natalie Portman had also won semi-recently for Black Swan, so this was the chance to give Emma Stone her first award. Kristen Stewart getting in for Spencer was an awesome nom. But again, she wasn't going to win.
She should have won. But
Kristen Stewart is not Angelina Jolie. And so I think, again, we look at the fact that people go, oh, Kristen Stewart didn't win, and so Angelina Jolie can't win. And I go, well...
Oh, no, that's not my I
know that's not yours. That's what some people have said. And I go, well, Natalie Portman almost won, and I think Angelina Jolie is a stronger contender even than Portman in terms of just as an actress getting her first ever Best Actress win. She's been nominated for Changeling in 2006. She won for Girl Interrupted for Supporting Actress, but she's never won Best Actress. And so people can play the Pablo Larraín card. I think the Angelina Jolie career narrative card is stronger and kind of, overtakes or overpowers the Pablo Larraín-ness of her, film.
Yeah, I don't care that it's a Larraín movie. I don't even care that Jolie's already won. They're obviously not afraid giving multiple awards to people. In fact, they've been doing it even more frequently
Well, Emma Stone
in
won
recent
second last year.
years.
Yeah.
What matters is the performance. But I guess you could say there is some commonality between what Mikey Madison's doing and what Emma Stone did in Poor Things in terms of the sex work angle and the bravery of the performance. But
whereas Angelina
also
Jolie feels a lot more like Marion Cotillard for Edith Piaf in La Vie en Rose.
Yeah,
and Maria has Netflix behind it as well, and I think that is something to consider.
Weren't you just talking shit about Netflix in terms of getting movies into Best Picture and other categories?
I was saying they had weaker.
There's still a little bit of a stink around Netflix.
I said they had weaker
the
prospects
Academy.
for Best Picture, but they still campaign the heck out of their films. That's the one reason why I think Emilia Perez is likely to get in, is solely because of how Netflix will campaign it, and Netflix are behind Angelina Jolie, so we know they're going to campaign.
But I guess we're talking about all this extraneous stuff. You do have to acknowledge that Honora is the Best Picture frontrunner, and Maria will not be getting a Best Picture nomination, which isn't as important in actress as it is in actor. But I still think it's definitely a factor, and to the point, if Honora,
Faye, Judy, Still Alice, Blue Jasmine, Iron Lady. From just the last couple of years, they didn't get in, and they won actress.
Mikey, if Maria gets a makeup nom, maybe then I'll have a conversation with you. I don't. Well, I'd much rather talk about
the other makeup nom actress combo.
Madison, Honora, Best Picture frontrunner. Probably the biggest performance. As great as Jolie is, it's actually not as showy as it easily could have been, and I think that is a credit to the film, not a detriment. But yeah, I just think Madison is one of the biggest performances of the year, and it would be a great way to, because she is Honora. She is the Honora. I mean, Angelina Jolie is the Maria, but if you want to give Honora Best Picture, what better way to give Honora Best Picture than to give Honora Best Actress, especially if Baker's maybe going to be splitting one of his awards. And the fact that the movie doesn't have a ton of below-the-line prospects either. If it's winning Best Picture, which I do have it as, it probably needs to win more above the line awards than just screenplay or just director.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I've very comfortably got Mikey Madison at number 2. I think she'd be a great winner. I just have this feeling that Angelina Jolie is going to take it. And again, this is the fact that I think that Jolie wins SAG. I think Jolie wins BAFTA. I don't think Madison wins BAFTA. I don't think she wins SAG. She could win SAG. But
I think Madison could win BAFTA. I think they're I could even see the panel snubbing Jolie just as a weird thing they would do.
Nah. I think that Jolie is more likely to win, and that's the other thing. Is I'm just taking that into account.
Whereas I think Madison probably wins Critics' Choice. She could win Globe.
There is no way she doesn't win Critics' Choice.
And Madison should definitely win Globe.
Well, and that's the other thing, is that Globe will be split.
Yeah, unless Jolie they want to, God forbid, give it to someone from Wicked.
Or someone from something else. So can we chat about,
do you have Cynthia Erivo in your 5?
I do have Cynthia Erivo in my 5.
I have her 3rd. I'm so confident that she's getting in.
Yeah. I'm also confident she's getting in, but I've got her at 5th.
Yeah. That's not me saying I think she could win. I mean, if Wicked becomes even bigger than we thought, I actually wouldn't rule out her winning.
No, I wouldn't rule it out. Again, I think she is win competitive for what's hard here, and I guess I kind of want to spoil my other 2 picks so that way I can chat about this more on a broader scale. So can I just know what your other top 5 are?
Yes. So in 4th place, I have, where is my list? Carla Sofia Gaston, who I think is a mainstay of the race, and I will be very surprised if she doesn't get in either. But I'm also just, some of the discourse around Perez maybe has me put her a little lower than Erivo, but I feel like she's pretty.
I've got Carla at 4th as well.
Yeah.
You've got at 5th.
Demi Moore for the substance, and she's one that I think she doesn't even need the movie at this point to get in.
I've got Demi at 3rd.
Yep.
So, all these things. There's a correlation between actress and makeup. And Substance winning makeup is very likely, which bodes well for Demi Moore in actress. I just went on a big old rant about Angelina Jolie's career narrative. Demi Moore also has career narrative.
And a narrative that's built into the very themes of the film she's in, too.
Yeah. So Demi Moore could win, like, but then if you want to play a card, you play but it's a horror comedy. And so you go, that's not the kind of film that wins. And you go, well, it's not. But, like, Michelle Yeoh won for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
And that has, dildo fights and all those kinds of things. And also, if we are saying the substance is the next horror movie since Get Out to be an above the line Oscar player, why couldn't she be a serious acting contender?
Like, I think the substance in tone has far more in common with an Everything Everywhere All at Once than Get Out as well.
Yeah, even Get Out has a comedic bent to it, so that definitely helps.
Yeah, so I think that I've got Demi Moore at third, but I could see her slowly become the front runner. And the reason I wanted to shout about all of this is the fact that
like a Jamie Lee Curtis kind of way, in that she just keeps bubbling up. I don't mean that as to besmirch her performance.
But the Globes. So the thing is, out of our top 5, 4 of them are all competing in the same category at the Globes, which is comedy musical actress.
Yep.
And I could see Madison or Moore or Erivo winning that. I don't think I see Gascon winning it, but she'll certainly be nominated. Which is, like, whoever wins that, I think, will then be the person that's, like, versing Jolie, because Jolie will win drama.
Most likely, unless they do something crazy.
And they could. Maybe they will.
And the Globes are fun. I'm team Globes right now. I love the Globes right now. Like Alma Poisty, Fallen Leaves. Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out.
So, and that was interesting because last year Alma Poisty got in because most of the Oscar lineup was in drama. Whereas this year, I think we're likely to see like an Alma Poisty style of nomination in actress drama at the Globes.
Yeah. Huge stonks for, these fringe contenders like Saoirse Ronan in The Outrun and Kate Winslet and things like that. I was going to say, like, we can start rattling those, but that top 5, we've got the same top 5. But I feel good about that 5. And it's just, the person I have 6 is really just coming at a cost of the strength of that 5, because I've got Marianne Jean-Baptiste 6 for Hard Truths. I really think could have happened in a weaker year and could still happen.
Yes. So I've got her at 6th, and I think she's a lock for BAFTA.
Yep, absolutely.
I think she's a lock for Globe Drama.
I mean, knowing the BAFTAs, like the fact that they gave supporting actor to Keoghan over Yeoh, they could even give her the win at BAFTA if they really just decide to get around their own.
Well, you think about like Joanna Scanlon winning for After. I mean, like that's because no one from that lineup was in the Oscars lineup. But still, like, they could definitely give it to Jean-Baptiste. I would not be at all shocked to see that. The reason I've got a Revo at 5th as well is she's fantastic. That is undeniable. I do think a lot of the attention is going to be on Grande, and I don't want that to come to the disservice of Erivo. I have a suspicion that it might.
Yeah, so Grande I definitely have more faith in as a contender. I also don't
a bit like Colour Purple last year, where
BAFTAs probably won't go for Erivo either.
Well, like Danielle Brooks got in for supporting actress for Colour Purple, but Fantasia Barrino didn't get in for lead, even though she was very deserving, and I think should have. But But yes, Marianne Jean-Baptiste is my 6th. Who've got 7?
All right, so the 6 is pretty strong for me, and from there I'm sort of throwing a dart at a lot of names. Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here I have 7th, because again she's one where people who have seen it say, how can you not vote for her? So and I haven't seen it, so I can't comment to the legitimacy of that. But
if I'm Still Here ends up being similar to Drive My Car, and somehow gets into the Best Picture consideration and gets into screenplay and gets actress and BAFTAs go wild for it, then I could see it. I've got her at 7 again, because people have just said so, like, that she's fantastic, but it just depends on if people see the movie.
Yeah, but to the point, like, she could even just do a random pop-up on Oscar morning, Brian Tyree Henry style nomination.
Marina de Tavira for Roma style.
Exactly. I don't think, and I feel like at the start of this award season, people would every year people try to predict the Marina de Tavira now, and it feels like she's definitely in that spot. But again, like, it would be one that it would just have to get in off the strength of the performance, and it's just whether people see it or gravitate toward it. Who knows? Now, the next one is more based around campaigning and Oscar politics, and I have Kate Winslet for Lee at 8th, because I think she's going to come hard with a campaign. She has
The Rock is supporting her.
The Rock. Well, she has fucking what's her name? Who did the To Leslie campaign?
Yeah, I know the name. I can't remember the name. But
Frances
I know
Fisher.
Yeah, Frances Fisher. That's the one.
Yeah. So she's got her mounting a campaign. She clearly wants to get nominated. I don't know if it'll. I think the field might be too crowded to translate, and I don't know if it's not like the passion for To Leslie felt more organic because Riseborough was someone who hadn't been given her due. Whereas Winslet, like, does she need an Oscar nomination for Lee?
I have thoughts. Kate Winslet for Lee is my number 9 as well.
Yeah.
I'll say. Kate Winslet. Have you seen Lee?
No, I haven't gotten around to. I missed it at 3 different film festivals, and I still haven't watched it in release.
So I saw Lee at the Sydney Film Festival, and quite liked it. I think it's a well-made film. It's enjoyable. It's not just a Winslet starring vehicle, though.
Yeah, it's an ensemble.
No. It's a film that she produced and was heavily involved in, to the point where she paid the crew for a couple of weeks because an investor had dropped out. She put a lot of her own money into this film. And if it gets an Oscar nom, people are more likely to go and see it. And that will boost her return. So I think she's campaigning for a nomination, not just because she wants
financial reasons.
But I think that, this is my hot take or my conspiracy. I think she just wants the film to be in the conversation so that people go and watch it, and she's able to, it makes some money because she put her own money into it, and she wants to see the profit.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't go see it because then Kate Winslet wins.
Do you not want Kate Winslet to win?
I like Kate Winslet.
Yeah, I like Kate Winslet.
I don't mean the Oscar. I mean she wins.
And here's the thing. She's great in the movie. And I remember when I watched it, I enjoyed it. I walked out and I went, "That's a Globe drama nom."
Yeah, and it definitely will be now. What else is there?
Yeah, so I think that is very likely that she gets in for Lee. But yeah, the fact that people are chattering, it's all right, is this actually something, or is it all smoke and no fire?
It doesn't. I don't know if it's going to feel organic enough, and also I feel like the top picks are a bit credited, but she's definitely one to keep an eye on. Who do you have 8th then?
At 8th, I have got Saoirse Ronan.
For the Outrun, yeah, I have her a little lower. As soon as I saw that movie, I just thought this is not gonna be a thing. She could get that Globe drama nom because the field is weak though, so that'll keep her in the conversation.
This is true.
Maybe BAFTA. British
I think
adjacent.
BAFTA is very likely. I think Globe is likely. The interesting thing is that Sony Pictures Classics have got I'm Still Here, The Outrun, and The Room Next Door. All of which kind of just feel like they're sitting there as dark horses waiting to break out somewhere, but I just don't know if any of them are going to break out. But it's kind of like how a couple of years ago they had Living, and Living ended up getting actor and adapted screenplay.
Although, of those 3 films, I think The Outrun is probably the least likely to get a nomination beyond actress.
Yes. Oh, yeah, and that's the thing. It's solely an actress vehicle, whereas I'm Still Here has got at least 3 categories, maybe 4 that it could be in. Room Next Door on its best day does very well, and on its worst day it doesn't show up.
Yeah, whereas I'm Still Here should be guaranteed international, you would think. But yeah, so Outrun definitely, she's in the mix, but she's not really a serious contender the way we thought. We've gone from thinking it could be a Saoirse Ronan double nom year to her most likely not getting in at all.
I don't think she's going to get in at all. Which people go, how could she not get in? And it's she didn't get in for Ammonite.
Yeah, and she
has
Kate Winslet mentioned.
Huh?
Kate Winslet mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look, we love Saoirse Ronan here on this YouTube channel. She's very good in both these movies, but it's just might not be her year. Other names floating around. I have Nicole Kidman at 9th for Baby Girl. Not one I've ever really believed in, but apparently she is really great in it, and I'm sure the movie will have its fans that won't shut up about it.
I've got her at 10th, and that's because I think again she'll probably get a Globe nom, and that kind of puts her kind of in the conversation.
Is Baby Girl drama?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's drama. So she's in drama. Winslet's drama, Ronan's drama, Torres' drama, Baptiste's drama, Jolie's drama, Swinton's drama. There's a couple that could get in there.
So who is there a gap for to get that 5th, 6th comedy nomination slot? Is Night Bitch a comedy? Could Amy Adams pop up there?
So Amy Adams is who I have at 11th.
Same
here.
I
think Night Bitch could get in. And Challenges Zendaya.
Yep, that's it. That's the next name on my list also. Yep.
So, now I've seen Night Bitch, and you haven't. And I think Adams is fantastic in the film. She makes my personal top 5 for the year. I would love her to somehow end up breaking more in, like getting a random SAG nom or showing up at Critics' Choice because they have 6 noms. Like, I'd love to see more of an Amy Adams campaign. I don't think it's going to happen, but
I mean, the film's probably not even going to get a theatrical release in this goddamn country.
well, it's not. I have a confirming email from Disney saying it is not coming to theaters in Australia.
Thank you, Disney. Very cool. I should have gone to see it at the Adelaide Film Festival. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'll see you one. I know I'm going to like Night Bitch too. That's the annoying thing.
Yeah.
All right. Any other names worth mentioning here? The only other name I have written on my list, because she got, I think, a Gotham nom, is Pamela Anderson for The Lost Showgirl, which might be just one that pops up at critics groups and stuff, but I don't really see her going
well, like, again,
further.
Pamela Anderson, and that film has an original song written by Miley Cyrus, so it could show up there as well.
Original song is so weird this year.
That's so weird. But yeah, so Pamela Anderson getting that Gotham nom, again, like, could show up in some places, or at Indie Spirits, because they come out this week. I mentioned Tilda Swinton a little bit earlier. Again, like, I just don't think that that's a serious thing, but maybe she ends up just getting, like, BAFTA and Golden Globe, and so it ends up getting in that 5th spot because someone misses out.
Yeah, she could sneak into Globes, I guess.
The other person that I've got in my just written down is Ryan Destiny for The Fire Inside. The movie itself sounds great, but it's not Amazon's priority. Brian Tyree Henry, who we can bring up a bit later, did get a Gotham nom, so we know it's on some people's radars.
He could just do it again.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But yeah, so Ryan Destiny, but again, I just don't think Ryan's known enough, and I think there's so many other known contenders that are competitive contenders that I just don't think she's going to get in. But I wrote it down. I wanted to give it a shout out.
All right, 20 minutes on just actress. Let's keep
Actress so much quicker though.
Yeah, actors not. Actress is
so
always
shallow.
the most. Actress is always the most fun category. It's always a bloodbath, and we love to see it. Whereas actor, it feels like every year in like September, it seems like we're gonna have so many contenders, and then by this time we're like scrambling to figure out who's gonna limp into the 5th spot, which it does feel like is the case again this year.
Because Joaquin Phoenix was a no-show.
Yep.
Because that was the big one. I was like, he won for the first Joker, so is he going to get nominated? It's like, nope, that's not happening.
And even without that movie's reception, I think just the bad press he's been getting this year, I think it just wasn't going to happen.
So
yeah, and this is a category where there are a lot of contenders who won't get in that should get in, but I still like the lineup that we have.
I've got a very solid top 4 of like these all seem guaranteed for a nom. And then that 5th spot is so open, and I've got a bunch of other people. I'm like, look, all of these would be so deserving, and I don't think they've got a chance in hell of actually getting it.
Yeah, pretty much. I've got, again, maybe only 7 that I actually kind of buy. But anyway, let's do we still have Adrian Brody number 1?
We do have Adrian Brody number 1. Having seen The Brutalist yesterday,
yeah. Now, I don't think he is the everybody shouldn't bother showing up level front runner that we thought he was maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
But I still think he's going to win.
Yes. And again, people go, oh, but he's already won before.
Who cares? That means nothing. 1,
doesn't really mean anything. 2, that was a while ago. And so when you do look statistically, because we like our statistics, when you do look at second wins, they tend to, not always, but they tend to happen significantly after the first win. So you look at the gap between Frances McDormand's first and second. I mean, even the sense that, like, you know, like Stone's second was very close, but it wasn't like the year after. Like, it's not since Tom Hanks that someone won like the year after.
Yeah.
So Brody won for the piano in
Pianist
2001. Pianist in 2001.
And you also kind of
hasn't been nominated since.
And it also hasn't been that much. Like, he's around, but it's sort of like he'll show up in the odd Wes Anderson movie, and otherwise no one thinks about him.
He's in See How They Run, which is such a fun movie. Saoirse Ronan,
incredible in that movie.
Oh, so what a film!
But yeah, it's a big career. I wouldn't say comeback because I don't think Brody's some irrelevant, washed up actor. I really like Adrian Brody. But it is a big resurgence to the forefront and a reminder of what he is capable of. Most people do agree that he eclipses his work in The Pianist, which I haven't seen because I don't like Roman Polanski, but I guess I'll watch it one day. But yeah,
I also haven't seen The Pianist. I feel like I need to at some stage. And now having seen The Brutalist, and I also like recently with a friend, just for the sake of it, like she'd never seen it, so I rewatched with her Schindler's List, and I kind of go, maybe I just complete this Holocaust trifecta, and I watch The Pianist. So good vibes only in my house.
Yeah, big time. But yeah, look, Brody, textbook actor winner, it's long. He carries like just about every scene of the film. Yeah. He's doing an accent. He cries, he yells, he's horny. He literally does everything.
Very Cillian Murphy Oppenheimer of him.
Yeah, just in
do
terms
a voice, be horny, carry a 3-hour drama.
That's all men do. And like, he's not my winner, but he would be such a deserving winner. Like he would still be a great choice. And I just think I need to give up on Coleman Domingo winning. But anyway, let's number 2, I have Timothée Chalamet for a complete unknown, who I think might emerge as the person who could give Brody a run for his money. Yeah.
I've got Chalamet at number 2 as well for a complete unknown. I'm yet to see the film and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Again, it's the whole thing of like, this is the music biopic and people tend to go, you get nominated at least. And in often cases you win,
And despite how young Timothée Chalamet is, it's almost getting the point in his career where it's like, are we due for this guy winning an Oscar? Like,
that's why. So this is my whole thing: is I go, are voters going to go, he's overdue, and we and so we give him this, or do they go, he's such a talented actor that his first win needs to be for some like incredible performance?
The Leonardo DiCaprio treatment.
It's
Although even The Revenant's not his best performance, but like
no, but it's a performance that's undeniable in terms of how monumental, like what he put into it. Whereas not to say that Chalamet didn't put a whole lot of effort into playing Bob Dylan. I'm sure he did, but I just wonder if this, like, people go,
maybe he needs to win it for an original character or something like that.
And I don't think people are in a rush to give Chalamet. They're like, oh, this is his career best performance, and he will never eclipse this. I think everyone is fairly confident that like Chalamet will continue to do good work, and so another opportunity will come up in the not too distant future to award him with something.
Yeah, I think it would take The Brutalist leaving people a bit cold for Brody to lose. I think it would need to maybe drop out of that top 2 frontrunner best picture status for me to be convinced that Brody's not going to win.
People were saying about Cillian Murphy. They were like, oh, people leave the film feeling a bit more cold, and so it was like, well,
but it's not like Bob Dylan's like a feel good Paul Giamatti style character you can get around. Like it's not the dour, depressing thing that The Brutalist is, but it's not a crowd pleaser. None of the other the closest thing I guess here to a crowd pleaser is Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing.
I was going to say, like, Timothée Chalamet in A Complete Unknown, having not seen the film, but just, like, this is just where my brain is going, feels a bit like Bradley Cooper Maestro. In terms of playing a real person, everyone goes, yes, this is great, and everyone goes, yes, you're deserving, and everyone goes, yes, you're a talented actor, but we're going to give you the win for something that's a bit more deserved than you just playing someone else.
Yeah,
we want to give you the nomination because we agree that you played someone else really well. Well done. Here's a nomination, but you don't get the win. And I just think that Chalamet, for me, it would feel weird if Timothée Chalamet won his first Oscar for playing Bob Dylan.
It would, but also, like, I'm such a huge Chalamet fan that I won't even be shocked if I come out wanting him to win over Brody, like that, because I love that guy. I think he should have won for Call Me by Your Name. Should have been nominated and won for Beautiful Boy. I think
agreed.
Wonka should have gotten way more Oscar nominations than 0. So I'm fully prepared to be rooting for him in this race, but I do think Brody's the one to beat.
I'm fully expecting to really like A Complete Unknown, but I have a strong suspicion that I'm going to prefer Chalamet in Dune Part 2 to A Complete Unknown.
He's phenomenal in that too. And again, this will be another element to this nomination. It's a way of recognizing him while being the face of 2 big movies this year.
And almost in the wake of Wonka, which like was a huge holiday hit. And
it's so weird that got 0. Don't get me started on Wonka, Michael. Third place, the person I'm seeing a lot of people think is going to win, that's Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, who I have in 3rd.
I've got in 4th.
Coleman Domingo third?
Coleman Domingo third. We believe in the Domingo.
Well, I appreciate that from you because Coleman Domingo is my personal number one and will not be moved from that position. But yeah, those two pretty much are similar to each other. Conclave is just a robust mainstay film in that Best Picture lineup. Ralph Fiennes maybe the most overdue of all in terms of narrative here, which is why I think a lot of people think he's going to win. Shout out to Variety, who are always wrong.
Yeah, Ralph Fiennes hasn't been nominated since The English Patient.
Yeah, but my thing with Kai is it doesn't feel like a performance that wins. I think it's a performance. No. Fiennes.
Oh no, no. Fiennes and Domingo, both of them just don't strike me.
I think Domingo's got enough sauce, but I just think...
He's got sauce, but again, if you look at previous winners, like you look at some of the last couple of years, I just think that he would be very deserving. I almost go the film also feels a little bit too small to be winning Best Actor.
Yes, I guess you could say that.
Smaller films tend to win supporting awards or... Yeah, actor tends to go to
but now
bigger
it's
films.
Feeling like Clarence Macklin's not even going to fucking win either. But anyway, we'll get to that.
He might. We'll get there.
I don't know. I hope. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Fine.
He can tweak up for this.
I have them on a pretty similar keel. I think they will both be nominated. Something will have to go very wrong for either of them, but I don't think either of them has a shot to win.
Yeah.
Maybe I could see Domingo maybe taking some smaller critics awards across the journey.
I think that's very likely.
And because it really felt like Rustin was going to get him in, and then it would build to a win, but some bigger contenders, as they often do, had to emerge out.
I understand releasing Rustin last year and Sing Sing this year, because I think that means that Domingo now gets the back-to-back noms. Because I think if Sing Sing had come out last year, I don't think he would have gotten the double nom, or he's not allowed to get the double nom.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he will now have 2 Oscar nominations. But hopefully that means that then everyone goes, well, he's had 2 nominations. Where's his win, huh?
Let's give him his big 3-hour-long sweeping biopic.
Actually, there's no way he doesn't win next year.
What's he got next year?
He's playing Michael Jackson's dad.
Oh, shit. Supporting actor win?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm pretty sure
Holy shit.
I'm almost very confident that he is playing Joe Jackson in the Michael Jackson movie.
That's exciting. Well, I mean, I'm sick of music biopics, but that's good casting.
Yeah.
All right. Now the 5th spot is again where you can have some fun. Now,
yeah. Coleman Domingo is playing Joe Jackson. Okay, yeah. Coleman Domingo is going to win supporting actor in 2 years' time. That's fine. That's fine.
I'll let go of Sing Sing for now. All right, 5th spot. Now I have a feeling we might even have the same person here, but I don't know, because I've kind of put someone in who I've been not believing in.
Countdown.
But
3, 2, 1.
Jesse Eisenberg. I've put him in 5th for now. Not with humongous confidence, but looking at the options here, I feel better about him than anyone else that's sitting there. And I know we've been sitting there this whole award season thinking, all right, he directed the film as a vehicle to get Kieran Culkin a nomination and everything. Oh, he's just the director. He's just the writer. But if the film is as strong as we think it is in picture and screenplay and such, he's so good in that movie. Culkin is the dominant performance, but I think Eisenberg just matches him along every step of the way in terms of intensity and emotion.
He's great. He's got an Oscar clip.
Yeah, he gives that big speech when they're at dinner.
This is my conspiracy theory. If Culkin was running lead, I think he'd get in this 5th spot.
And Eisenberg would definitely get in supporting.
I wonder if we even end up with a Judas and the Black Messiah situation.
Where they switch at the last minute.
Not so much switch at the last minute, but where so many people put Eisenberg for lead, but more people put him for supporting because they think he's actually supporting. They put Culkin lead, that they then end up balancing out and both of them end up in supporting.
But I don't know if Eisenberg would win supporting, but Culkin wouldn't win lead. So I guess this way they at least have a pretty good shot at a win.
In supporting means that he is more likely. So it's all of these things. But I think Eisenberg got the Astra, which doesn't mean anything, but I think he'd get a Critics' Choice. I think he's win competitive for Comedy Globe.
Definitely.
Although the Comedy Globe overlap with Oscars is less than other overlap. R.I.P. Taron Egerton for Rocketman.
That was such bullshit.
I know.
I'm so angry at the 2 popes, man.
I like the 2 popes, but I like Rocketman more.
It's not a good movie. But yeah, Eisenberg fifth. But yeah, true. Is the Mikey Christian? All right, so there are two other names here that I take seriously that could fit into this fifth spot. Eisenberg, I just think his movie has more prospects, which is mainly what leans toward me putting him in. The other one, and I think the one most people seem to have at fifth, is Daniel Craig for Queer.
Yeah.
Who I don't.
Craig gets 7.
Yeah, see, I don't really believe in him as much as other people do either, because I think the movie is going to be such a tough pill to swallow for most people.
Yeah.
That I just don't know if they're even going to want to go near it. And the fact that his performance is getting praised, but it's not like that undeniable thing that we kind of thought it was going to be before the movie came out. It's more people watch it. Craig's excellent. Some people really like it. Most people very, very off-put by it. And I think the people who didn't like the movie, Craig's not that outstanding in it that they're going to feel compelled to vote for him over someone from a movie that they really do love.
Yeah, like there's the whole it's Daniel Craig overdue narrative, but then there's the whole this film kind of is like hard to access. It's really interesting how similar this year feels to 2 years ago in 2022 when it felt like that fifth slot was just so open. And it ended up being Paul Mescal for Aftersun, which was a fantastic nomination. Now, I have not seen Queer, but it is A24. They have gotten lone actor nominations previously. Again, Paul Mescal for Aftersun. So I'm not saying that it's impossible for Daniel Craig to get in for Queer, but what I'm really going to need to see is him showing up at Globes and Critics' Choice and BAFTA and SAG. And I just don't know if I see him showing up at SAG. Maybe he shows up at BAFTA.
I think Globe and Critics' Choice are the most likely for him, but just because the extra slots.
That's pretty much like extra slots at Globes and Critics' Choice. But like he didn't get the Astra nom, but I don't think that's because Queer really screened for the Astras. And so, but like if Queer doesn't end up showing in time for Critics' Choice,
Will the Globes even see it in time? Like,
yeah. So it just raises a lot of things. So I've got Craig at 7.
And I'm a big fan of the next name we're about to talk about, who I'm sure you have at 6. Or do we? I don't know. Are we thinking?
My 6 is a little bit of a...
Oh, you've got a weird one. Okay.
I've got a weird one.
All right. Well, my other one that I really like is Glenn Powell for Hitman.
Yeah, I've got Glenn Powell at 9.
Yep. All right. So we'll talk about Powell in a moment. Let's talk about your number 6. Who's your horse?
I have Kingsley Ben-Adir.
All right, yeah, I've seen this. I've seen people are bringing him back, and I'm not as convinced by it, but he definitely has to be mentioned.
3 things. First thing, Paramount are pushing the movie.
Yeah, and it made money. It did make money.
It made money.
People didn't really like it, but it made money.
It made money. It came out at the beginning of the year. People kind of forgotten about it, but they're pushing it. They haven't just put it on their FYC site as like an obligatory thing of like, this is a movie we released, so here's where it's eligible. They are screening it, and they're pushing Ben-Adir.
Do you have a conspiracy theory for why they're suddenly trying to make this happen? Or do you think they're just like, fuck it, we have money?
That there was a gap in actor.
Yeah.
And when we've got Kingsley Ben-Adir, who is well-liked, who didn't get in for One Night in Miami. But is well liked. I can see him, and he was in Barbie, and everyone liked him in Barbie. Like he's kind of like known and he's liked. If Timothée Chalamet can get in for playing Bob Dylan, why not get Kingsley Ben-Adir in for playing Bob Marley? That's a bit fun.
We don't need to. Go away.
We don't. Kingsley Ben-Adir for Bob Marley, though, it feels like the kind of thing that SAG would do for the 5th slot.
Definitely.
And it feels like the kind of thing that the Globes will do. Because there is
the Globes of old, sure,
but even the Globes of now, like you look at the other contenders, even in
there's
drama,
room for him for sure. There's room for him.
Like in drama for Globe, you got Brutalist, you got Sing Sing, you got Conclave, and then you've got another 3 slots that are open.
Is A Complete Unknown a musical?
Oh, so no, and Complete Unknown is that's drama. Sorry, which is sorry. So you got, but still, there's like 2 slots that are open in drama, and it's like I don't think they're going to maybe go for queer. I don't think they're going to go for the other drama that we'll talk about very soon. I think that Kingsley Ben-Adir for Bob Marley One Love just makes sense. It's a palatable film.
I didn't find it very palatable. I watched it while I was in Sydney killing time.
Yeah.
while you were at work.
This is not me campaigning for the film. I don't,
Nearly put me to sleep.
But I can just see it.
No, I can see he's in my 10 as well. Like, I've seen that they're doing this. I just don't. I mean, we've seen studios campaign music biopics this hard before, and like they don't always translate.
Well, yeah, like on paper, Naomi Ackie playing Whitney Houston should have been like a guaranteed Oscar nom, and that film just came and went.
And like they're not quite at that fever point that they were, but I don't mind the pick. I don't quite buy into it as much as a Daniel Craig or a Glenn Powell, but I guess
I buy into it more than Glenn Powell. Like I think I think Benedict for Bob. Like in terms of Oscar performances, like I think Glenn Powell is a far better performance in Hitman. I love Hitman, and I think that Glenn Powell is win competitive for the Globe for comedy. Like I think it's between
him and Eisenberg
and Powell.
Yeah.
So whoever wins the Globe, that's who I'd probably put in the 5th spot.
I kind of agree with you, yeah. And also that, like, I have that 7th and I have the screenplay. If ends up getting
screenplay, then you get an actor-screenplay combo.
Well, that's the thing. I have them both 7th. So I'm like, I think if one gets in, the other could go along, but I don't know if either would happen.
Gosh, I would love that so much.
It would be very cool of them to do.
I might just rewatch Hitman this week.
It's awesome. I love Hitman. But yeah, now I come to the names, well, the one name twice who should be getting nominated.
Yep.
I would nominate both of these performances, but I don't think it'll happen. And that's our boy Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice and A Different Man.
Yeah.
I feel The Apprentice definitely has more of a shot, but even that, just the fact that no one wanted to interview him for Actors on Actors. No, who's going to want to touch this movie? Maybe the Globes because they're international. I mean, he should get into drama there. It'd be crazy if he didn't.
Exactly. So I've got Stan for Apprentice at 8.
Yep.
And Stan for A Different Man at 10. And then I've got Glenn Powell in the middle of them. And that's solely because of my Globe listing, I have Powell above Stan for A Different Man in terms of the comedy.
I really hope Stan gets in both those Globe categories.
Yeah.
He'd like just gets something.
And that's that, like, Stan could get 2 Golden Globe nominations and still miss actor at the Oscars, which would suck. However, part of my brain goes, The Apprentice. That's the film that like would make sense for a nomination. It's this drama. It's about Donald Trump, but no one wants to touch it.
I think if it had Trump lost, we might be having a different conversation.
If Trump had lost, well, I had him as 5th until Trump lost, and then Trump lost, and I was like, oh. Trump won, and I was like, oh.
Which is it's kind of crazy to me because, like, if you're sad that Trump won, why wouldn't you want to shine a light on this film that is this like doomed, damning portrait of why he became? Is it because they're just scared?
Get blacklisted. You'll get arrested, and Elon Musk will put you on a rocket and send you to Mars.
As if there's never been a film made about critical of a sitting president. But like, it's just no one wants to.
Now they tend to come out. Well, here's the thing: it was made and it was critical about the president, but he wasn't the sitting president.
Yeah,
and now he will become the sitting. So, with A Different Man, though, again, just to flash back to the whole A24 can get lone actor nomination.
Yeah, but like I think he's Nicolas Cage in Dream Scenario.
Yes,
for that movie,
100% Nicolas Cage in Dream Scenario, which is a real shame because
both performances that ended the year in my 5.
Yeah. Sebastian Stan is incredible in A Different Man, and he will get a Globe nom. He's already got a Gotham nom. He'll probably get an Indie Spirit nom. I'm expecting him to get quite a lot of critics groups noms because I think there is that flexibility in that 5th spot that I would not be surprised to see him getting in.
He's the people's champion this year.
I think because one of the things that like a lot of critics groups will nominate an actor for 2 performances. So it'll be like if they had a particular body of work was particularly impressive. So I would not at all be surprised to see quite a few critics groups be like Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice / A Different Man, and so it's a double nom.
Yeah,
but that's the 10.
That's the that is the 10, and then beyond that, I have names written down that I have no faith. Paul Mescal, Gladiator 2. We thought it could be a thing, but he gets upstaged by a lot of people in that movie.
I think this was coming from the fact that Paul Mescal ended up being that surprise 5th 2 years ago, and everyone goes, okay, we've got a really strong top 4. We need a Paul Mescal nomination for type 5. Oh, Paul Mescal can just be that person because he's in Gladiator 2. But then the movie came out and everyone was like, oh, but this is Gladiator 2. This is an Aftersun. Paul Mescal being a serious contender for Gladiator 2 would be like Timothée Chalamet being a serious contender for Dune Part 2. In the sense that
kind of. Except I don't even think he's as good as Chalamet.
No,
like,
that's
anyway,
the thing.
yeah,
Chalamet
like,
is better than Mescal. So if people are going to give any credit to Mescal and say that Mescal is an Oscar contender, then I'd be like, then give that same amount of recognition
Yeah.
to Chalamet. And you can make the whole defense of like Chalamet is a previously Oscar-nominated actor. He's an up-and-comer. He's like the similarities between Chalamet and Mescal for Dune and Gladiator are very similar. So I don't think that either of them, like in terms of this sense, like I think Chalamet is legitimate for a complete unknown, but I don't think either of them. So yeah, so Paul
No.
Mescal for Gladiator 2 is not happening. Nicholas Hoult for Jury Number 2.
I do have him on the list, but that's more like that.
Yeah.
It's the movie sounds really good, but it's just like it's not going to have the visibility.
Maybe he gets a Globe nom.
Yeah, potentially if fucking David Zaslav lets them watch it.
Like yeah, again, I'm sure he's good. I mean, he'll also have the benefit of Nosferatu, which he's in. So maybe it's the kind of thing I'm like, oh, well, he's in both films, so you know.
He's like the poor man Sebastian Stan of the race, and Sebastian Stan is already a poor man in this Oscar race.
In terms of
John David Washington,
I've got
piano
two
lesson.
other names that I want to shout out.
I have John David Washington written down for the piano lesson, but like it's it's making up the numbers. Not really. I didn't bother going too deep for this list.
Like the one thing I will say about John David Washington, and I didn't put him on. Oh no, he's number 15. He's at the bottom of my list. Is that it's Netflix, and there is currently conspiracy theories around the fact that Netflix streamed the SAG Awards.
Yep. Oh, so maybe.
And you go, do we end up seeing John David Washington as the fifth actor and actor?
Look, I'll take what I can get to keep Danielle Deadwyler in the race.
Yeah,
okay,
Deadwyler's doing actors, but piano lesson in ensemble. That's some of the there's
that'd be kind of crazy.
I'm just gonna put that out there.
Surely you would see like an Amelia Perez before that if Netflix are looking after their own. Yeah,
Netflix sweep. It's only Netflix actors.
Hitman ensemble cast. Austin Emilio finally gets his flowers.
Yeah. Adria Arjona for
She does rock. She's still in my supporting
Adam
five
Sandler
for
Spaceman. No,
I do love him, but
so I think that like John David Washington, for the piano lesson, not unheard of. He'll probably get like the there's a couple of like African American critics groups as well, and so like he'll get a couple of shout outs of those. The two that I really want to mention, one that like not enough people have seen the film. I think if they saw the film, there'd be more chatter. Is Jarrell Jerome in Unstoppable?
Yeah, I hear he's really great.
He's great. Movie's a solid kind of just sports biopic, but he's really, really good in it. It's a very physical performance. He's playing a real person. It's a sports biopic. Like you can see where all of these things could lead. I just think that it doesn't seem to be getting a push from Amazon. They're pushing a different sports biopic, which is The Fire Inside.
Even that, it feels tenuous at best.
Like that on its best day. Like, I mean, it got Brian Tyree Henry got a Gotham nom for Fire Inside, and so he could show up, but yeah.
Oh, he's on my list, don't worry.
Yeah, so I've got Jarrell Jerome for Unstoppable. And then the other one, and this is one that I know that you will love. Because he got the Gotham nom. It would feel very Paul Mescal and After Sun is Keith Kupferer for Ghostlight.
One of top 5 performance of the entire year by anyone. And I do expect maybe him to get some critics love, but
I would love to see him get
thanks
some
for
critics
mentioning
love.
him at least, because
I
he's
would love to see him get some critics love. He's got a precursor. He's got a Gotham nom. I would be shocked if he doesn't get an Indie Spirit nom as well.
He could like win the Indie Spirit depending on who else is there.
Is this how we get him in? Is this how we get him?
Let's get Keith Kupferer to be the Paul Mescal After Sun type.
We get like a Two Leslie style campaign going for it as well.
Yeah, except it's just us running it and no one comes to the screenings we host.
We get him an actor nom.
Yeah.
The Australian Academy.
Get to work. But yeah, he's phenomenal. Him, Domingo, and Stan in The Apprentice would be like my top 3 in this category. But that's not what we're here for. But whether it was that was the no more names for you.
No more names.
In that category. Names. All right, I think we'll cap this video here and leave the supporting categories for another one because we have talked for 45 minutes.
Yep.
Whether they're as deep, we'll see. We could do 15 on Ariana Grande alone, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I really don't know anything about her beyond Wicked, so I haven't followed her career with much interest. But thank you very much for watching this video. Leave us who you think is going to win the acting categories in the comments. Follow Mikey on Instagram and Letterboxd and everywhere else. Check out my podcast, The Film Draft. New episodes every week. It's a lot of fun. And we'll probably be doing some more Oscar-y type episodes as we inch closer toward award season. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.